from under the bonnet. So
That's
every time
fine.
I close this,
No,
the bonnet
there
is
may be,
continuing
I
to
hate to ruin it for you,
self-lighten.
there may be some loose surface rust inside the doors.
No, it definitely came from under here.
Ah, that'll be the bonnet.
That's the bit of the bonnet.
Yeah, I've got
falling.
to try and do a bit of.
Are you going to?
I'm going to put 2 bars in to stop the anti. You know the thing that's supposed to catch the bonnet when if the latch is let go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to weld that back on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That'll be
good.
fine.
Yeah.
So my first plan, I have got my angle grinder out. Obviously, one is going to have to attend to the slight lack of floors.
Yes.
So,
yes.
as this is not car restoration, this is not normally what I'd like to do, but this car is too far past it. What it needs to be done is to make it effectively structurally sound.
So basically, we're going for the last huzzah.
The last huzzah, I mean, she is really scrap. Like, the doors are shot, but they're still hanging in there.
They are.
I am going to replace the pieces that it needs. The actual main body structure is pretty good. The bulkhead is good, the strut mounts are good, the subframes are good. But the floors, I mean, this is the bung that goes in the floor.
I thought that was a
That's
bean
not,
lid.
It's not a bean tin lid, it's a bit of Peugeot. What has happened due to water ingress is that everything that attached this bean lid has rotted out. Because I will demonstrate by, it almost goes straight through the hole.
Yeah.
So, professionally, if we were doing it, we'd like to remake that hole, refit the bung, make it look like it'd never been touched.
Yeah.
We're not doing any of that. What I am going to do is take this zip disc and this angle grinder and cut that hole out square.
Yeah.
Hammer a large piece of plate in there and burn it in at 150 amps with a MIG welder.
Beautiful.
Structural stability, rigidity. So you will notice that I am missing most of my seatbelt mounting there.
You are.
Bit of my seatbelt mounting on the other side. And they may possibly be under that mat. I can see the floor. I'm going to have to take that sound deadening out because that's the passenger seatbelt mounting for Mrs. D on the way up.
Yeah.
And she's going to want one of those.
It's got to be right for Mrs. D. I mean, she's got half of it there.
She's got half of it there,
just
but I
needs
think
the
if
other
I
half
give
of
that a
it.
good tug, it'd come out.
I don't even think you need to tug on it too
this
much.
bit back here, so the back floor, she's good. We'll bring you in here in a minute. Back floor is good. Now, Saturday I lifted this up with a good poke at the sills. So this here is the better sill.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it is there, right?
It is still there. It's hanging on.
It's hanging in, and it actually looks awful, but it's not quite as badly rotted through as a bloke. That bit down there is going to need some work.
Yeah.
And this back corner here might need something welded into it. So what I'm going to do on the rest of it, which is quite thin, but I can't push in my hand and I can't bash a hole through it, I'm going to skim it with some fiberglass reinforcing stuff. No, but this is the difference. This is what we're doing. So I'm going to skim it to give it more structural rigidity because it basically is only a finishing plate.
Yeah.
The strength is in the big pressed piece on the back of it, which it is attached to. Yeah. The roof, she is perfect. That can stay like that, yep.
I did actually notice you've still got some lacquer left on this
we're
roof,
we're not polishing it. So here, admittedly, there is some holes. So I'm going to cure that with silicone. In there, lovely.
Yes.
I might rub that off, and then I'm literally going to put a load of weld sealant glued along the bottom to stop the water getting in anymore. Because otherwise, we're not. That's not structural.
No. That's just to
fine.
stop.
This wheel arch, that is fine. This bit down here has fell off.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to quickly scooch the rear bumper off. Huzzah that and it's opposite because they both fell off.
Okay.
Fold using the folding machine up a piece of metal to. Ooh, your bits are escaping.
My bits are falling off.
Basically, because the inner is there. She is good. See, it's just the outer sidey bit that's fell off. So I think big bit of plate there.
Yep.
Cut the rust out, bash it round that corner. Pot rivets.
Pot rivets, yeah. I didn't know whether that was the welder or...
Pot rivets and a bit of welding, and basically, because same again, don't think that's within 30 centimetres of a structural mounting point, and it isn't actually part of the car structure, it is...
Yeah, no, that's just a...
So, and then we're going to paint that black, so that everyone will know. I mean, the lights are good, they're a bit free-floating, but we'll work on that.
That's okay.
As you pointed out earlier,
Yeah,
we may have some tailgate issues.
Yeah, you're going to have to drive with your windows
No,
closed out.
No. Got a cunning plan there.
Go on.
Got a large sheet up there of misordered aluminium.
Oh, aluminium, yeah.
Do you remember when Dave couldn't use a tape measure for his caravan roof and ordered one that was 1.5 meters too short, even after they sent him the proof, and then he still did it?
Yeah.
So I am going to cut myself a sliver of aluminium to go here, because as you say, I think the force of the wind blowing in the car may possibly pop this window out.
And I'm going to be behind you, Al.
And this window is probably fairly unobtainable.
It's actually a good window.
The heated bit,
best bit on the car.
So I'm going to tuck it in under this quite flexible 1981 rubber, where the original car would have been. Hammer it round here and pot rivet it all the way around so it stops this leaving.
You're going to put like a big...
No.
This thing's going to go like a stamped rat, isn't it?
Well, that's the other stuff. So I'm going to need some number plates, because I think, although I would like to keep these ones, I don't think that the reflectiveness is there.
No, and I think there's a possibility that you could get pulled over for having
so
number
I'm going to order
like
some chopper Chinese pressed tin number plates off of Fleabay.
Yeah.
You
going black and silver, or are you going for a...
No, it's not old enough black and silver. And it wouldn't have had black and silvers, would it?
It wouldn't have.
No, we're not trying to add character to it. It's got enough.
Oh.
So, I have the brake parts, but the main problem will come is in here. Because you can see ground, big hole in front footwell.
Yeah.
So, effectively, I am going to repair that using...
sheer brilliance.
A large hammer and a MIG welder.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cut the bits out square, cut some big bits of plate out square, weld them in there. Me seat mount here, I may need to refabricate, because
that's a bit broken.
Yeah, that's a bit broken. That one I think is salvageable.
Yeah.
Let's get these people in here, and then they can understand what we're going on about.
Yeah.
Okay. You can have that door. I'm having this one.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, there's an original juicy fruit wrapper in here, Al. That's proper old school.
So, as you can see, there's quite a lot of it in here. Isn't bad.
It's falling off this side when you're beating that side.
Yeah, no. We're not worrying about stuff like that.
No. So it's actually structurally sound.
Bit of plastiche up here.
I think Mrs. D is going to have the safest side, to be fair.
Well, yeah, because this bit here has fell off.
Yeah.
But the actual sill pickup, which is there,
still good, yeah?
It's good. So there's a good lip there. Look, see, it's even got like some nice black paint on it.
Ooh.
So this seat box mount
is good,
because that's actually fell out completely out of my Peugeot 305 van. All of this is gone. I've only got this bit hanging in midair. So as the wiring is nice and manoeuvrable, I'm going to scissor this off through there.
Yeah.
Come up over that bump there. Like
yeah.
Here. Yeah. I might even come in here a bit, because I don't need to replace any more than is necessary. Like that bit, that is good. This bit, not quite as good. So, I mean, that bit there, that's quality. I mean, there's where my drain hole went, or my floor bung.
Yeah.
And as you can see...
I don't think you'll need to get a grinder in there, Al, to remove all that.
Well, I'm going to cut it straight, because that's all right. See, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
This bit... First piece of tin bent, basically big hole cut out. Obviously this is the remnant, I've dropped my fag, of the inner sill. So I've got to trim this up a bit. So this is actually slightly more solid than I was expecting. I need to get behind here, so I want to get rid of that. I'm going to cut that off, and then I have folded this piece here. So dop, like so, and then I'm going to bash on that quite a lot as I weld it in to try and get this to meet up to there. I might bend that edge there somehow, actually. That might be a good idea. Where's my pen? Yeah, let's mark that up. Roll that bit as well, so that we've got like a whole decent, half-decent floor. That's one bit, then I've got that bit over there to do. So I'm going to get in here a minute and trim that manky piece off down through there, because that looks rubbish. Possibly, maybe not. And then we're going to make a big patch to go there, and then we're going to cut this bit out. Economic fabrication. Ta-da! Look at that. So, I have fabricated a big lump in here, welded, so I put a plate all the way along the inner sill, which had sort of slightly gone crispy just there. Tied it into the seat belt mount, welded in. Then folded myself a new floor pan in here, tied that into this piece, and the underneath. And then made this up swoop here. I've made myself a new seat mount. It's not exactly identical, but from a distance, so now maybe with some washer spacing we'll have somewhere to bolt the seat. I mean, I have rolled and bashed a very quick patch in here. I did put the lines in it, not quite perfectly admittedly, and tacked that, welded that all the way into the floor. Then no grinding discs were wasted in this operation, so I have not grinded anything. I have covered it in sprayable seam sealer to seam it up, and then I have applied the black goose. So next plan is this bit. So what I'm going to do is fold this bit is good. That bit there is not terribly good, but we're ignoring that bit because that's where the subframe mounts there, look. So what we're going to do is cut a big patch in here above after beating that off over there. Beating the rust off, yeah. And MIG that on the top to return the structural rigidity to the body mat. And then in theory, after I have got Sucky Hetty here in a minute, I'll have Sucky Hetty, she's just there, cleaned all the cack out of here. I reckon by the time I go home this evening, this side of the car on the inside will be structurally sound, and it is structurally sound. If I hadn't just covered that in goo, I'd jump up and down on it, so it is burnt in there. It's not perfect, but we're not doing car restoration. I've probably done a slightly better job than I really needed to do, so none of that can fall out, which is good because it is hanging onto the driver's seat. So this piece here is really good. It's just there's a hole there and this bit is poop. So I'm going to scissor this piece off because it's all right here. And then I'm going to use this seat box to weld to. I'm just going to put a big patch in there and cut the rust out and let it fall out the bottom. This is not restoration quality welding. This is saving a 1981 Peugeot enough to make it road legal. Got this. So no comments on that might look a bit horrible. All right, I'm not interested. So that side welded up, this side welded up. As you've seen, I put a massive grate plate in there, chased the edge of it in with a bead roller. I've left the inner edge of the inner seal, folded it up behind it, burnt it in there, burnt it there. And then obviously that body mount, the top of the floor had come away. It's two sections, one under the other, with the subframe sat below it and a big steel tube in between the two. So basically I've mocked as much as I can have of the top out and burnt a big plate in right along the edge of the steel tube in here, and then I've spray sealed it to death and covered it in black gook. That'll be this side of the floor, structurally solid. So what we've got to attend to next is over there. So the front floor pan is better. I've got a little hole over there, that won't take too long. But the back floor pan has got a big hole there where the seatbelt anchorage point is for the latch, and then on the far side below the actual inertia reel mount, in the seat mount, there's a bit of hole, but that'll be fine. And then obviously I've got to do the outer seals, hole in the front of that footwell. There's a hole over there, but I'm not sure we're going to worry about that, because I think that's just an old bung hole that's rusted out. That'll be fine. And then we need to attend to lights, brakes, wheel bearings, servicing, seats, carpets, Tommy 2 knobs. She has got a mono Tommy 2. No, stereo. Mono. There's a speaker over there. And all that exciting stuff you get with 1980s cars. So we're getting there. We will get there. So obviously we've done the floors this side. I've decided for the end of this video that I'm going to have a look and see what's inside and what the rear brakes look like. Because they're going to need doing too. And where's me bigger whacker gun? Bigger whacker gun. Oh, I'm done with that. The black one or that one? I prefer the black one. That one. Oh, that one. Better. All the old spiderage. What have we got in there? Phillips's wacky thingy. Yep. Hammer. Whoa. We are winning. Oh yeah, that bit of bodywork will be fine. That's good. Right, now the compressor's turned off and everyone can hear me again. So, there's a fair chance these drums have not been anywhere near off since the early 90s. Well, it's all coming apart pretty well, what's in here. Oh, yes. To be honest, that doesn't actually look too bad. So we're assuming that these wheel cylinders are probably done. I reckon those linings will last though. Let's see how badly stuck my wheel cylinders are. Oh yeah, there's not a lot of movement going on there. So, oh yes, right, we're going to need to put some wheel cylinders on it, which is going to mean shearing all the rear brake pipes off. So let's see how much we can break. Get the squirty stuff on it, see what comes undone. Let's be honest, these rear brake pipes are going to need replacing anyway, as are the rear brake flexes, which I think we have. Have. What are we going to be, 11s? Oh, yes, I'll shear that off just nicely. Surprisingly enough, none of this wants to move. Strange that, isn't it? What size do we reckon, boy? So the best way is just to cleanly break the rear brake line off, because let's be honest, it ain't going to be no good. It's been in a hedge half the time I've been alive, so just sod the expense and we'll make some new brake lines. That one's off there. And, yeah, it's just a bit crusty. I'm not even going to worry about the nipples, so what do we reckon they are? 11s, I just said. See if we can actually get it to one bolt. Maybe it's a 10. There's a 10. Oh, look at that. No shearing off needed. Ta-da! One solid wheel cylinder. All the rest of this, you know, the handbrake functions, they're just as good, I think, to be honest. I reckon those brake linings, I mean, you can see the meat on them, they're in pretty good nick. Obviously, because we're doing this on a costly type of basis, I don't want to be too spendy with it. Unbelievably, that actually does move if you hit it with a hammer. Damn, that might even have functioned. Anyway, I'm going to go find my new wheel cylinders. Right, so eBay purchase might have been last year. Probably was last year. New old stock. Brand new wheel cylinders. They were like a tenner. I don't think they were even a tenner delivered. So obviously, that is that. So what we're going to do is we'll quickly just sort of scooch that in there, because that's about as much brake servicing as we're going to do, because as you'll see, the rest of this looks pretty good. Now what I am going to have to go and get, before I get too serious, is I'm going to have to get the new brake flexies. I think maybe driving all the way to Lincolnshire on some rotted in a hedge brake flexible hoses might be a silly idea. Oh, that's not. It's there. Oh, look at that. That is perfect. Now, we've got a cap in there stopping it from. No, she is fitted. I think what we do is quickly whip round the other side, which we know will be as bad. But as you can see, these linings, I mean, there's plenty of meat on that. For what I want to do, there's no point getting all overexcited and spending a fortune, you know. I'll give that a bit of a blowout with an airline. We might even get all excited and rub at it and throw some brake cleaner at it. A bit of a wiry wheel on the inside of the drum. maybe adjusted up manually here, serviced. Same idea this side. I'm assuming that this side is obviously going to be as seized as that side is. So we'll knock these screws out again. Are we going to go? Oh, look at that. Perfect. It's amazing how well this thing comes apart. I mean, she's pretty rusty, but it is hanging in there. As long as you don't poke too hard, obviously that bit there is going to need some work. Same the other side. This bit here. But we're getting there. We will get there. So, stay there. What lies behind door number 2? It's not even seized on there. No drum pullers were needed. Look at that. Oh, it's not bad. It's dry. The drum's reasonable-ish for what I wanted to do. Yeah. She's good. So we're assuming that this is rubbish. Not even going to worry about testing on it, because we'll do exactly the same as we did the other side and just cut that off. And then same up here, because we're going to need new brake flexies and new brake lines. That's the sort of thing you don't really take the chances with. Straight undone. You're a good old Peugeot, aren't you? Yeah, right, out you come. Oh, you're seized. Oh, yes. Yep, that's seen better days. Well, we'll have to spend the other £5 then, won't we? Life is hard. And drop test it at the same time. Right, where's me bit of sandpaper gone? Oh. Right, get rid of the rest of the spiders. Yeah, look at that coming around. Give them a bit of a dust off. Hoop, hoop. I'm going to say, those linings are not in bad nick at all. They will work. Handbrake lever is free. Better check that, I suppose. Oh yeah, look at that. All the springs and everything. Self-adjuster? Yep, self-adjuster moves. Right. Quick refresh on the inside of this. rusty, but it's not bad. It's going to be rusty. It's been in a hedge since 1992 or 1 or whatever it was. That's not bad at all. Right. What am I doing? That one. Right, what I'm going to try and do now is get this unbolted, which probably isn't going to work. Handbrake cables function, they're good. Need to get that nipple, well, remnants of that brake pipe out of there. It's a clip on here, and then we can extract the old brake hose, the old brake flexible, to try and find out which one we need. So I'm probably going to do that on the time lapses, because that's going to take me a bit of time, and then we might get all excited and get the angle grinder. And when you see, look, it looks awful, but it's actually all pretty solid, unbelievably so. Right, so I've also lifted this above my head, so things I'm going to need to attend to are these here brake lines going left and right. Of course, they are going to be a bit, I reckon they're going to be a bit juicy. Oh, it came loose. So for someone who commented last week, this is a union spanner. It's for brake pipes. A union spanner because you've got an open end on it. And you can actually get it on the union. So this is the actual load sensing valve, which unbelievably is free. And then what we're going to need to replace are the pipe going that way, the pipe going that way, because it picks up on the flexies. Take your torch with you. Over here on the edge. So we need to get both the flexies off and then replace on this brake pipe here and that one over there. I mean, you can see that one's already sprung a leak with me just literally touching this end of it. So I'm not going to take the suicidal chance of running those. They've had it. Brakes are always a good idea. So that's going to come out of there or not. I'm going to cut it off. Oh, no, it's moving. Hopefully in a minute it'll shear off. Unbelievably, it's actually coming undone. That is amazing. What old school always moves, doesn't it? So those out of there, and then I can figure out what flexible brake pipes I need. Where is to me? There it is. Shear this brake line off the bottom of it because that has had its day. Oh, that's lovely. Ooh, yeah, that fell out. That's dead. Right. So unbelievably, that union actually undid out of that flexible pipe. Now what we've got to try and do is they've got these, may need hammers and screwdrivers. The flexi pipes are held in with these little pop-over clips. And obviously these little pop-over clips have been nestling in a bush for ages, so they may not want to play ball. Possibly. Even Even though that doesn't actually look terribly bad. It doesn't look terribly bad. La-dee-dee-dee. I reckon it's going to... I reckon that's going to have survived. Oh, it's almost unbelievable. Go around the end there. Nope. It's moving. I don't know how, but it's definitely moving. Right, let's attempt attacking it with a pair of pliers. There it comes. Would not believe that, would you? Come on. Whoosh. Get in there to do it like that. Magnet torch. I know you've got a load of rust stuck on the bottom of you. It's part of fixing this thing. Come on, the last bit. It's all just a hammering. Oh, look. Amazing. Survived. That's one. And then there's another one up in here. In here. And we can work out what flexible brake hoses we need. So we obviously got this old brake pipe we snapped off earlier on. That is out. So we've just got to get the horseshoe clip off of here to extract the remnants of the flexi brake pipe to figure out what flexi brake pipe we need to make it function again. Is that going to move? No, we're going to have to hit on that a bit. I put all of my hitting equipment. Right, hitting. So that's the little dude there. Slightly different hitting screwdriver than last time because we've lost that. You might know where it is, I don't. And then I'm going to get in there, hit on this bit a bit, like that, without snapping it off. Try and free her up a bit. Your magnetic torch is never quite as magnetic as you'd like it to be because it's all covered in rust. See if we can tease that clip out of there. Are you going to move? No, you're not. More hitting. Let's try hitting you in an upwards direction. That's working. Hitting in downwards direction. Oh, that's working well. See all the rust falling off of it as we go. Oh, that's worked. Still haven't got a Scooby what I did with my screwdriver. Come on, Mr. Peugeot, stop being an arse. More hitting. We hit it in there. There we go. Oh, perfect. Just give it here, would you? come on. You're not going to win, I am. That showed it who was boss, and it survived. Right, so we need that out of there, like so. We might need some new ones of those, because I think this one may possibly be a bit deteriorated. So I'm going to go measure them up, and then we'll order some of them up, and we're going to need to order quite a lot of the brake pipes. We might just get in here and puff the last of the mouse doofus and spider webs and shit out of the back of there. So I've stuck the wheels back on it for a minute, stuck it back on the floor. I've got the flexible brake poses out I need to get. Obviously I've welded the floor up this side, you'll have seen that a minute ago. I need to do this side next. That sill is the worst, so I've got to attend to that. And I've got to try and sort of, as we fudgy, make some tailgate pieces. And obviously, that bit there that's missing. That bit there. I've ordered the new number plates. I've got 2 new headlights. The starter motor had died, so I was going to try and fix it until I found a brand new old stock one on eBay for 35 quid delivered. Sadly, no point fixing it, so I've got a new Peugeot one coming. I have 2 brand new headlights to go in it, got to do that. And then, because the Festival of the Unexceptional is looming, and then we need to also get on with the 309, because we're taking both of them. We also have another workshop-based thing that we've got to do this week. You may have noticed in the background, these 4 large, I think they're Hetra lorry truck lifts. So they're 4 independents. I mean, they're not new. They're thousands of pounds new, but they are ticketed good. So not the Bluetooth ones, the wireless ones, they have got cables. I can deal with that. And we've also got, so they're set for 22-inch wheels, but we've got the shims to bring them down to like a 15 or a 16 or a 13 if you needed. So what I'm going to do this coming week is take this Hoffman ramp out, hopefully sell it, gone. That big Bradbury that we never use is in the way, gone, so that we can run on 4 independents, 4 big axle stands, and then basically gives us a load more room to do big ugly things here. So we're going to keep Peugeoting. We'll probably be Peugeoting next weekend as well, see if we can get it running and moving, and we'll see how far we've got. And then possibly Wednesday we might be going for massive amounts of ramp removal. And we've got some stuff to finish. The Daihatsu is got to go. It's almost done, Mr. Parker, before it has a birthday here. And sat just there is a very large Volkswagen camper van. We haven't filmed the transiting because we've done too much transiting. And then we've got a load of other stuff around here that we need to attend to. It's all exciting. Thank you very much. Out 6D Diesels.